Hey, good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Good morning, Brian. I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Where are we finding you at this morning?
We are at the VFXnow headquarters here in Burbank,
Oh, that's
in Southern
amazing.
California.
That's great. Yeah, it's new digs. It looks a little different on camera. Can you turn your camera around? Let's see what's on the backside of the camera.
Mostly pallets. So we got
Oh
lots and
my
lots of
God.
pallets and lots of computers.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
we've been quite busy in a very good way.
That's amazing. So the cool thing is that we had our first client pitch demo for AI in one of the big studios, and I thought it was pretty fun. Like it's been a long time since I got to pitch something I was truly excited about. And just for everybody listening at home, it always the demo bugs hit and the system didn't work when I went to demo it. And Daniel's sort of working frantically and got it working. I ran out to the parking lot and was able to pull the client out of the parking lot and take them back inside and show them the demo. So Daniel, can you talk a little bit about what software were we showing?
We were just demoing chat with RTX. So what it is a localized private AI, pretty much an assistant on steroids, and just showing them how we can actually have your own database, your own personal AI ran locally on your own network and based on the data that you choose to train it. And it stays all within your own, kind of a walled garden.
That's amazing. And then for production, I believe what we were hoping to use is its ability to allow queries against unstructured data. How hard would it be to set that up for a production to be able to feed all of its assets into the system and come back with interesting information?
Well, every day we're seeing new tools come up and new ways. There's so much innovation going on in this industry right now. Um, right now, we have tools such as Anything LLM. This is one that actually surpassed. It's just become more popular, and the time frame is actually quite short. And if you have a good GPU, you have the compute resources that you need. We're talking not more than a few hours to have thousands of PDFs to train these models with thousands of PDFs.
That's amazing. And the way I try to describe this to myself and others is until large language models, we had to build out tables and databases in order to track information. And we had to be very disciplined in structuring the data. Now we're able to query anything and everything, and we're able to then pull out information and patterns within that data. Would you say that's correct?
Absolutely. So that's one of the great advantages of these AI is you can ask it to, output in whatever structure you want. So it looks for patterns. It looks for things that it can add structure to. So one of a great use case is actually to have a bunch of data that's unstructured and say, I want you to make a table. I want you to process, do some type of processing. One of a great prompt is to say, put this into a table format or make this into this programming language, structure my data. So absolutely, I think you nailed it on the head.
Yeah, one of the things I did this morning that was groundbreaking in my world was I was able to take a picture of a spreadsheet with a type of model that I can use with the management team to help organize the business. And it's called a balanced scorecard from Traction. And I wanted to create a spreadsheet using the image as a template. I was able to ask the model Perplexity to take the image and create a spreadsheet, which it did. and it did a great job interpreting what was important, what wasn't, and it created all the text. Then what I asked it to do was to take that image, create a CVS formatted image, and then I was able to copy that image into the command line. I used terminal, I used VI, and I was able to recreate the CV comma separated values file, and then I was able to then turn that into an Excel file. And it would have taken me 15 or 20 minutes to input all the different data, but just having the system itself create the spreadsheet was amazing. Perplexity is $1 billion investment with a stack of hardware. Are we able to use something off the shelf on the what they call the edge to do a similar task, since it's pretty straightforward and shouldn't require such a big investment?
Absolutely. There are several open source models that are off the shelf, such as Claude is a big one. Meta's Llama is excellent. Um, even even though ChatGPT 3.5 is a little bit older, it's still very popular. There are several off of, if you go on Hugging Face, which is kind of like the GitHub of AI, you can find so many open source off the shelf LLMs that you can train locally. You'll have your own address that's only within your network, and you can test it out. Chat. If you go to Chatbot Arena, you can actually test these things. And if you want to take one of these models off the shelf and test these models, see which one works best, that's a really good tool. So there are a lot of them out there. I'm a big fan of Claude and Mistral, a French company. There are several more, but those are just to name a few off the shelf solutions.
Wow, that's amazing. And what's your favorite for your day to day to do your job?
My favorite, I'm really voice based, so I like HeyPie is my favorite because uh, the it gets cadence, it gets the way that it uses tonality is so well put. They were, I think they were ex OpenAI people that started HeyPie. It's at heypie.com, I believe. Um, and it's just so conversational. And it's just really nice to be able to speak freely and then they understand. And then, of course, Perplexity and ChatGPT, those are, of course, in the wheelhouse.
Well, what would it take for us to have something in-house so you don't have to use Perplexity or something similar?
So there are so many tools depending on our use case. Because let's say we want to do something that is just database orientated. We can use there's I mean even ChatGPT is definitely good to use off the shelf, but the problem, of course, is you have to be careful in what you're training your model because of privacy. So um, I would definitely say going local is going to be, and we're going to see that a lot with on-device AI because privacy and security is paramount. So, the, I don't want to go off too far, but those are just a few things that I want to mention.
And that sounds great. Um, do we have anything at the office set up now? Are we running our own data inside of one of these
Absolutely.
models?
We've been trying out anything LLM, which is a localized private. It's built for businesses. It's so that you can have your own AI that's completely on device, that's private. You have your loopback address, and you can feed it all the data you want, and it'll never leave your computer. And anything LLM has been my go-to. There are some other ones, such as GPT for all. I do want to mention that one, but we definitely use anything LLM. I use it personally. I can train it on agreements and documents, anything you want. You can even run scripts to scrape your whole entire database and just train it on that. So we definitely are implementing it. It's still in the early days, but I'm by far impressed by what we've been doing so far.
I think one of the things that comes to mind is checking our rentals statuses, whether an item's out at a client or on the shelf, and run that against our QuickBooks billables. And be interesting to see what kind of information it comes back. Also, if there's a way that we could check the value of the equipment based on market rates, based on the inventory sheets that we have to understand if our balance sheet is correct. Also the value of the equipment. It would be interesting to see from a marketing point of view where it can help us. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think that checking our eBay store, seeing interesting things about what we're doing on eBay, if that's useful to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of forecasting. AI has been used a lot with business tools. AWS has a suite of business tools that they started a while ago that uses AI to do forecasting and analytics. So this is a crucial and critical tool that is going to be ubiquitous.
Well, Daniel, I'd like to say thank you for your time today, and I always appreciate hearing what you have going on with AI and your thoughts around it. So much
Thank
appreciated.
you. Thank
Take
you for having me. I appreciate it. Bye bye.